Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I will be going over the 5.04 lab on the pendulum. Today I'm going to be doing a quick walkthrough. So you'll go to the Unit 5 wedge here at the top of our screen. And when you get into this, you want to go down to 5.04 pendulum and click on Learn. And you want to begin here where it says Lesson Introduction. When you open up the lesson introduction for this lab, it's going to take you through a number of steps here to get through all of the information. There are 3 little sections and then our lab report where you will turn that in. So here's our mastery map. The question we're trying to answer is how string length and mass affect the swing of a pendulum, or you can use the question of what influences the period of a pendulum. You'll navigate the page using these gray arrows at the bottom of the screen. Next, it asks you to access the student guide, so you'll want to download that and open that document. The student guide is a little bit different than what is mentioned here, so you will be using the updated lab report document. You will be using the updated lab report document to complete this assignment and submit it. So here is our student guide. We're going to move that out of the way for a moment. After you get through those 2 pages, you'll want to move on to the investigation portion, the laboratory portion of this unit. And here it's basically going to explain to you what a pendulum is, how you can create a pendulum, and what a period is. And a period is the time it takes for a pendulum to move back and forth, and we want to know how we can change the period of a pendulum, how we can increase that time or decrease that time based on some factors that we can adjust. So you will need the lab, which is embedded here. You will also need the student guide and the lab report, and you will need some graph paper if you are doing this lab by hand, or you will need to create a graph in Word. So first you're going to be using the 50 centimeter pendulum. It says position the pendulum above the sensor timer by pressing on the pendulum. So you'll click on one, reset the timer. It's important that you follow these instructions in order. Lift the pendulum to the 30 centimeter mark. And release. The pendulum will pass through the sensor and measure the time it takes for the pendulum to complete one period. Note the time, 1.26 seconds. Stop the pendulum and reset the timer to take another measurement. You're going to do this 3 times for each and take the average. When you're finished, you'll drag the pendulum to the trash and select the next and do it again. And you're going to do this for each of the 3 pendulums. Okay? Once you've completed the 50 centimeter pendulum, you're going to move to the next screen, which is the 70 centimeter pendulum. The instructions are identical. The instructions here are identical. So you want to drag your pendulum to the 30 centimeters, release, pause, note the time, and continue on with the other 2 colors. Once you've completed this, you are going to go on and submit your lab report. So let's open up our lab report document and make sure that we understand the document. Everyone will have slightly different numbers, but your values should all be very similar. And here's your lab report document. It's asking you what the goal of the lab is, how did you form a hypothesis, state your hypothesis, 2 data tables, one for the 50 centimeter pendulum and one for the 70. It's asking you to create 2 graphs, one for the 50 and one for the 70, and then compare your results in question 6. All of your answers, or all the answers to your questions, should be in this recording or in the student guide. If you have further questions, please fill out the lab help document and let me know in the comment section.